Hello there, and to all who come to this happy place, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Abby and I upload Disney planning content here on my channel every Sunday and Thursday. Now, if you are thinking about planning a Walt Disney World vacation either now or in the future, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. In today's video, I am going to be talking about what everyone else is talking about on social media, which is the coronavirus. As someone that is very clearly very deep into the travel industry, this has had a huge impact on me, my family, and my business, and as well as all of my clients. So the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today is not in any way any medical advice. I'm not talking about the medical side of it. As we all know, this is something that is going to spread like wildfire if people don't take some serious precautions. So all I'm going to say about the medical side of it is wash your hands and stay home. That's all I've got on that. But without further ado, I'm going to tell you first some background information as to what the travel industry has kind of looked like for the last couple of weeks and how it has very rapidly changed over the last couple of days. So obviously this is hitting at a really bad time in America because all these families were supposed to be going on these spring break trips. Myself included. We're supposed to go in April. I'll get to that later. But the spring break time is a really busy time for, most of my clientele. They're going when their kids are out of school and it's not too hot, but it's not too cold. It's a really good time to go to Disney, as long as you're okay with like slightly increased crowds. But in the last couple of weeks, as Corona has started to come over to the United States, I've had more and more questions. What's going on with my trip? Should I be concerned? And while I will never give like medical advice other than to talk to your doctor, I can always tell you the traveling options that you have. So for instance, if people were asking me 2 weeks ago, I was reiterating the cancellation policy that Disney typically has in place, which is you can cancel your vacation for a completely full refund as long as it is 30 days or more in advance. Now, the room-only rooms can have a much shorter cancellation policy, but the majority of my clients have the full package with room, dining, tickets, memory maker, all that jazz. So I was making sure to communicate that with them. But on Thursday, as most of you probably know, Disneyland was the first one. They announced that they would be closing their doors, their theme parks, their resorts, everything over the weekend. And then a couple of hours later, we started bracing ourselves. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. I had hopes that maybe Walt Disney World wouldn't close, but a few hours later they did announce that they would be closing, as well as all Disney Cruise Line departures from, I think it was that Saturday, I think it was Monday. That Monday, everything after that for the rest of March would be canceled. And at this point, that has been extended to mid-April. Whether they start sailing in mid-April, I don't know. Adventures by Disney at this point is canceled through the end of April. Walt Disney World and Disneyland are supposed to open on April 1st. I'm going to be honest, I don't feel super optimistic about that. But at this point, it is all speculation. No one really knows. So, no one has any more information than that. That's it. That's all we got right now. It is 2:41 on Tuesday. Tuesday? Yeah, today's Tuesday. Quarantine. So, when they announced that the Disney parks would be closing, that night I had 7 families traveling during the scheduled Walt Disney World dates. I did have someone that was supposed to be going to Disneyland, but luckily they had already changed their dates to May. So I got away with the Disneyland. But Disney World, I had 7 families that were impacted, and immediately I contacted them and said, hey, look, this is what's going on. Would you like to cancel? Would you like to reschedule? We can move your trip however you'd like to proceed. And there was no benefit to moving your dates. At this point, there still is not. They don't honor the price. You have to pay any price difference because, as I talked about on my channel, when you go matters a lot when it comes to pricing. So moving your dates to October, your rates might go up. Now, they also might go down. So it really depends on what you are moving around, what dates you originally had, etc. So most of my clients were opting to cancel. I did have one family that moved them just by a couple days. They were overlapping. Now, whether or not they get to still go is up in the air because I'm not super optimistic that we'll be reopening April 1st, which is a very big change of tune because I was like, they're not gonna close. Disney won't close. I was wrong. But of course I didn't say that to clients. I said, I hope they don't close. But in my head, I'm like, they're not closing. They did though. So yeah, I was on the phone for about 48 hours straight, minus sleep. I was on hold with different vendors, changing dates for people, canceling, and of course, you know, like, I would hang up with Disney and then someone else would make a decision and then I'd have to call back. It's fine. It's part of the job. But like, I was on the phone for about 48 hours. So now what I was hearing is that the consumer lines were actually like 9-hour waits and airlines were another couple hours, and like the wait times surrounding this whole thing are terrible. But one of the reasons that you need me and people like me, even if you don't use me, use a travel agent because they do the waiting for you. They also know what they're doing in terms of like, if you called yourself, you might not know what questions to ask about your options. So like, I know what kind of options might be offered, so I know what to ask for. And also, instead of you wasting your time, you know, on hold, you could be getting ready for your family to be under a quarantine situation, stuff like that. So it's really important. You also support a small business, you support a dream, all that good stuff. So make sure to book with a travel agent. That's my PSA. But there were also a lot of problems with people that booked through third party. So I'm not considered third party. I work directly with Disney. Third party would be something like Expedia, where like those discount sites, because we have like, there are groups for people that own travel agencies and work with Disney. And in some of those groups, people were talking about clients that had to leave their trip early. Luckily, I didn't have anyone on property during this whole fiasco, like when I didn't have anyone there last week, is what I should say. I had people that were supposed to be there this week and next week. But the thing was, when people were checking out early because the parks were closing, at the front desk, they were asking, did you book directly through Disney? Did you book through a travel agent? Or did you book through something like Expedia? And thank goodness people were booking through travel agents, because the people that were booking through Expedia, Disney couldn't help them. Yeah, they couldn't help them get refunds, is what the front desk was saying to many people. So, saving a couple dollars up front is not really the wisest money decision, because, you know, no one ever saw this happening. Like, this is a completely unprecedented situation, and this could always happen again for illness or some natural disaster or something like that. So, booking through third party, not the best idea. The other thing, people rent Disney Vacation Club points. Everyone who did that is, like, screwed a little bit. I own Disney Vacation Club. We go through our points way too fast to ever rent them out. But people that aren't going to use all their points do rent them out through third-party vendors. I'm not going to name any of them, but people then can rent those Disney Vacation Club points and they can get discounted stays. The math isn't always, like, that great on them, but because I have looked when we are out of points. But one of the major problems that came up this time is that the way, it's very hard to explain. I don't know specifics. I know the general laws behind it. I don't know, like, again, we don't rent out our points, so it's not, and we use all of our points every year, so it's not something I'm super concerned about. But basically, when you purchase Disney Vacation Club, it's a timeshare, and it follows certain timeshare laws. And we can bank and borrow our points across like, you can use last year's points and next year's points this year, so you can use your points every 3 years. But those points from last year expire. And usually when people are renting out points, a lot of times they are renting out points that are about to expire. all Disney resorts are closing this coming Friday. So the problem here becomes that the points are being refunded. However, they have to stay in their current use year is what that's called, which means they go into this holding account because, again, there's a lot of laws behind it, but basically they go into this holding account and they have to be used within 60 days. Now, those points that you rented, if you can't find availability, because DVC, the goal of DVC is really for 100% of the rooms to be filled at all times. So it's really hard to find availability, like even as someone that wants to go on vacation, if you're not booking 11 months or 7 months out. But replacing your full week reservation with another full week in the next 60 days is next to impossible. So these points are expiring. The points that you rented are expiring, and the owner provided that allotment of points to you. So people are arguing that they should be using their next points. That's not how it worked. You rented those points. So the people that rented DVC points are losing thousands of dollars because they rented points that are expiring. Anyway, that's my little rant on that. DVC point renting is honestly something that a lot of people now are like, wow, we didn't realize that was how that worked. That was what would happen, blah, blah, blah. So basically, this has been one heck of a weekend. But a lot of people are in a lot of trouble, and a lot of people are very anxiously awaiting some decisions from Disney when it comes to their upcoming vacations, myself included. As of right now, as I mentioned before, the parks, both Disneyland and Disney World, are slated to open on not October 1st. Wow, let's hope it doesn't go that long. April 1st. However, everyone needs to be aware that this may not happen, especially with the newest recommendation being, I think it's 8 weeks, 10 people or less only, no gatherings over 10 people. Who knows? I would certainly hope that Disney's not going to be closed for 8 weeks, but I know that they're doing what's best for the guests, the cast members, all of that. So if they are closed for 8 weeks, there's nothing really we can do about it. As of right now, all vacations through June 30th, 2020 can be canceled for a full refund. Now, remember that 30 days is the deadline under normal circumstances. So if you're canceling for June now, you would have gotten a full refund anyway. But yeah, keep that in mind. Definitely contact your travel agent if you are concerned. You don't need to make any decisions right now, but it is something to keep on your radar. For us personally, we are supposed to go in April, and we have, okay, so I'm supposed to go the last week of April, and I'm also going back for Memorial Day weekend / Spaceship Earth's last weekend, which I'm really concerned is not going to happen. I'm concerned they're just going to start the renovation now, but anyway, that's beside the point. So we are moving the April portion of our trip to right before when I was going anyway for Memorial Day, so that it'll just be one long trip instead of 2 short little weekender type trips, long weekends. So they were kind of long weekends. Anyway, so we have done that. We have not canceled the April trip yet because honestly it was a perfect trip. I'm so upset about a lot of the trips that I've had to cancel because the itineraries were so perfect for the families and I was very proud of them. But we are hoping not to cancel April, but we have made a backup plan. We are working on dining reservations for that, just in case we do need to reschedule. Another thing to keep in mind, I personally always fly Southwest and don't book flights. We are not a ticketing agency, so we don't book flights, but, you know, we give advice on, you know, when our favorite times to fly are and such. So I'm not familiar with other airlines' policies per se. However, make sure to check with your airline to see if there are any price drops on your current flights. I have been doing this on the Southwest app. It's super easy. And I have actually gotten back about 8,000 miles, I think, and almost $300 in future travel credits. So now, let me preface that. I have flights for April, May, June, July, and October currently booked. There's so many options for me that, like, that's across the board. I've gotten back about 8,000 miles and $300. But They also are, their current sale is nothing over $199 through June something, I think. Let me, hold on, I'll tell you. Yeah, nothing over $199 through June 17th. You have to book between, you have to book before March 20th, which is, today's St. Patrick's Day, it's the 17th. So you have to book in the next couple of days, but if you haven't gotten your flights yet or you're planning a last minute trip, Southwest is a good option. BWI to MCO right now is looking at about $99, which is pretty good. $79 is the lowest I ever see it go. So definitely check it out. Remember, Southwest, free bags, 2 free checked bags, and a carry-on, and a personal item. That's why I always fly Southwest, because I need all those bags. It's fine. Anyway, so that is my thoughts on the coronavirus as it pertains to travel. I am obviously concerned about the health impacts of it, but I'm also extremely concerned about the economic impacts as someone that works in the leisure business. So we're hanging in there. But hopefully things will return to normal quickly-ish. But we will just have to see if it all plays out. In the event that Disney does extend their closures and all of that, then I will probably just jump on live real quick and let you know. I probably won't do a dedicated edited video like this necessarily. But with that being said, I also put out a poll on my community tab asking, basically I know a lot of you are on quarantine, myself included. We will be home for quite a while. So I asked you if you want to see like extra content from me, a normal amount of content from me, or no content from me. And about 63% of you said that you wanted to see as much content as possible. So I'm going to try to get videos out every couple days, probably more than Sunday and Thursday, but definitely not every day. That's not going to happen. I will do my best though. So the next video is going to be a trip review. I asked you guys if you would like to see this after each of my trips. As you know, I go a ridiculous amount, so I thought maybe it would be fun to look at like and kind of critique what happened, what went right, what went wrong at different locations, different dining experiences, fast pass strategies, all of that. And you guys were very interested in that, so that is going to be my next video. I do have some vlog footage left from days 3 and 4. I had some camera trouble on day 3, so I don't have like a full vlog. And then day 4 was going home day, and I tried to vlog, and I'm a grump on going home day, so it didn't work out. But if you guys want to see that in a kind of open-ended vlog that never really ends, like there's no ending clip, let me know in the comments section down below. But with that being said, I will see you. I'm going to post that video the day after this one goes up, so I will see you guys tomorrow with that video. Bye!